So I got a great email the other day asking me to talk about a topic that I can't believe I haven't talked about yet, and actually is something that's really useful for a lot of people and is really going to help people, especially when they're at competition. So I want to talk about how different lighting affects where your groups go on the target, horizontally specifically. So let's roll the intro and then talk about lighting. So you might have noticed when you're at a competition, maybe you're doing head-to-heads, moving between different targets. You know, if you're moving from one end of the field to the other, or if you're an indoor competition, moving one end of the range to the other, changing where you are in respect to the lighting. Or maybe if you're, at an outdoor competition during the day and the light changes because the sun is moving around, you might have experienced, your groups moving left and right. Why is this? What causes this? And how do you, change what you're doing to make sure it doesn't happen and affect your shooting? So the number one thing here is the reason lighting changes where your arrows go is because your arrows will follow the lighting. So if I show you with a bow, it becomes really clear. It's all to do with string picture. So if you imagine you've got your bow here and you're lining up your string picture on, let's say, on the side of your riser here. So if you're lining up your string picture there on the side of your riser, so with the bow, imagine you're at an outdoor competition. The sun is over here. When you're lining up your string picture, imagine you line it up with the side of the riser here. So imagine the sun is on this side, it's shining onto the string, onto the right-hand side of the string here, and you're going to line up the string with this part of the riser. But the right-hand side of the string is brighter than the left-hand side. When it's blurry, because it's very close to your eye, what you're going to do is subconsciously, you're going to line up the string, but you're going to line it up slightly more left because you're going to line up the bright part of the string and the dark part is not really visible. So what you're going to do is the right side, which is bright, you're going to line that up with this part of your riser. So effectively your string picture is further left than it would be if the lighting was completely uniform or if the sun was behind you. So when the sun is on the right, you subconsciously, without realizing, you move your string picture slightly more left. And then what does that do? That sends your arrows to the right. So this is what I mean by the arrows move, your group moves, and it follows the light. If the sun is on the right, you're more likely, because of the string picture, to have your arrows on the right. If you, for instance, if you shoot in the morning, you set your sight in the morning, you shoot a group and you're centered, and then you don't shoot all day, you come back in the afternoon and the sun is on the left now, what you might find, but very likely, is that you'll go left now, even regardless of if there's any wind, if there's any change in the wind or anything like that. If it's a completely calm day, when you go from the morning to the evening like that, you'll go left because you've gone from the right side of the string being bright to the left side of the string being bright, and this changes your string picture. So this can also happen, for example, when it goes from sunny, if it's sunny and the sun is on the right, and it keeps going between sunny and cloudy. When it's cloudy, the light is more uniform, you don't have that bright side on the string, so it won't be as affected as much. Whereas then if it goes completely sunny, then you will be affected. So if you're shooting at a high level and you're noticing that your groups are moving around left to right, especially through changing lighting conditions and changing times in the day at a competition outdoors, then this could be the cause, and you need to be on top of this and make sure that you're paying attention to what's happening with the lighting. So definitely check this out. And then I want to talk a little bit as well about indoor competitions and how this affects where the arrows go indoors. So when it comes to indoor competitions, what you need to understand is the same effect applies, and it all depends on where the strongest amount of light is coming from. So if you look at this picture here, as you can see, the lighting is supposedly uniform. It's a small hall, but if you stand on the right side of this hall, you have the wall to your right and you have all the lights to your left. So this is in effect the same scenario as the sun being on your left. So if you stand at this point in the hall, your arrows will probably go left. If you were to stand on the other side of the hall, on the left, then your arrows would probably go right, because the bulk of the light is to the right of you, and it's the same effect as the sun being on the right, and changing your string picture so that your alignment is slightly off of your string, and this causes the horizontal difference on the target. So it's all to do with the string picture basically, and it's also another, reason why the string picture is really important to get consistent in the first place, because of how much effect it can have. I've heard before that some Korean coaches say that string picture is more and more important as you get better and better, and I couldn't agree more. It's, for someone who's just starting, it's probably not a big priority. If you're an intermediate getting to an advanced archer who's really getting up to, more big scores, more 70-meter competitions, more indoor tournaments and stuff like that, then string picture, and especially changing light conditions that affect your string picture, can really make a big difference to your horizontal grouping and then to your score, because you're moving left and right and you haven't realized. And it happens to the best of us. I've seen it happen to top Korean archers, top world-class archers who haven't realized that the light has changed when they've gone from maybe the practice field, in terms of like an indoor competition, the practice arena, then they've gone on to the finals arena where it's all lit up and the light is from different angles, and they've just shot right for the whole match. They've shot a group right, and they haven't realized, probably because of the light has changed a lot, they've grouped there and they're thinking, okay, the shots are good, but my arrows are going off. I don't know what's going on. So really pay attention to this and have it in your kind of arsenal of one of the things you can check if your grouping isn't in the center. Another thing is, some people have asked if wearing a hat helps with this. Now, wearing a hat does obviously help with sun glare and stuff like that, but it won't actually change the effect of the light on the string, because yes, you're blocking the sun maybe from entering your eyes, or blocking the lights from, blinding you inside or something, but the light is still hitting the same side of the string, so you're still going to be affected in some way, or in a small way still. So it does help, but it doesn't eliminate it completely, and you still need to be aware of the effect of the changing light on your string picture and then your grouping. So in terms of what the best environment is to shoot, this is why you might actually hear some top archers say the best environment to shoot in terms of an outdoor competition is obviously calm for scores, but when it's overcast, flat light, uniform from everywhere, but still relatively bright, when it's not, very dark, so it's fairly bright, overcast and calm, that can often be the best weather for high scores, because you haven't got obviously excessive heat, sweat to deal with, your fingers slipping off the string and stuff like that, but also you haven't got any changing lighting that's moving your groups left and right. So you might have heard that before, and I just wanted to explain why that's the case and why, overcast conditions can be the best in terms of, for world record scores and stuff like that. So it's a bit different to what you might expect, but that is what really helps in terms of the uniform light and really helps that string picture stay consistent.